So hi everybody, welcome to a yogi plant. We have about an hour practice plan today. It's going to be, kind of a little bit of everything, flow, gentle, and hoping to get to a little bit of legs up the wall at the end, if you so please. But always with our videos, it's fine if you choose to do a shavasana, straight up on the mat too, that's great. So we're going to start today on our blocks. And we're going to take a moment here coming into Sukhasana, so crossing our legs. Maybe sighing out a couple times, finding ourselves on our mat, bringing our awareness to our mat. And bringing our awareness into our breath. Starting to breathe in through our nose. Pausing at the top and breathing out through our nose. And then pausing at the bottom. So I invite you to take a few yoga breaths here. Finding a rhythm where your inhales and your exhales are equal. Maybe on your next exhale, just drawing your navel, your lower abdomen in, engaging that Uddiyana Bandha, but maintaining your yoga breath. And as you're sitting, I invite you to just sit up a little bit taller, letting your shoulders drop down your back, opening up those collarbones, your collarbone up to the ceiling or the sky. Maybe engaging your Mula Bandha, which is down, kind of like doing a Kegel, probably the easiest way to describe it. It's giving your core some strength. And on your next exhale, I invite you just to look down, bringing your chin down towards your chest. And breathing into those muscles along the back of your neck. Remembering to drop your shoulders down. And feeling those muscles along the back of your neck just elongate. And on your next inhale, looking up center. And continuing up, looking up towards the ceiling or the sky. This time, feeling the breath moving up your throat. I guess technically your esophagus. And on your next exhale, coming to center. Continuing to breathe. And as you exhale, looking to your right. And as you exhale, looking down to your right. At this point, if your hands are on your thighs, you can maybe just drop them down behind your thighs if that feels okay for you. Breathing into the left side of your neck. And on inhale, looking towards center. And on exhale, looking to your left now. And on your next exhale, looking down to your left. Really breathing into those muscles on the right side of your neck. And if it feels okay from here, as you exhale, just maybe rolling your head to center bottom and then rolling it to the right bottom. Just going from right to left, looking down, giving your neck a few gentle rolls. Left to right, on the down low. And then just stopping whatever side you're on. And as you inhale, looking up. And just like you're following a rainbow with your eyes, moving up across the top part. Rolling your face from left to right, going across the arc of the rainbow. And then from here, we're going to do one neck roll. Or two, if you like, all the way, if that's feeling okay for you. Go across the rainbow and then dipping down, looking at the floor, and then maybe just switching sides. Round it off. When you're ready, we'll meet in center. I should mention too, I'm sitting on a block, and feel free to sit on a block if you wish. Then we're going to go into an eagle arm pose. So we're going to take our right elbow and put it out in front of us, take our left elbow and cross it on top. We're going to intertwine our hands. And most likely your palms aren't going to meet, but the top of your palm is probably resting on the bottom of your other palm. And as you continue to breathe, just moving your elbows out away from your body. And just breathing into the stretch. And on your next exhale, we're just gonna let that go. Bring our arms down to our side. Then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna take our left elbow down, put it on the bottom, take our right, cross it over, and intertwine our arms, bringing our palms, top of one palm to the bottom of the other. And as you're breathing, just pulling your elbows out away from your body. Maybe bringing your navel in, maintaining that strong core. One more breath here. And we're going to exhale and let our arms drop to our sides. I'm just going to turn to my side now so you can see me. So we're still sitting in Sukhasana here. We're just going to do kind of the opposite with our shoulders now. So we're going to take our hands and put them behind us, fingers pointing to our bum. You'll have a little extra height here if you are on a block. If not, it's still going to be just fine. And opening up your collarbone, inhaling. If it feels okay, you can let your head drop back. If not, your head could be just your neck can still be supporting your head. Whatever you're comfortable with. Opening up those collar bones. And opening up the shoulders. One more breath here. And on inhale, we'll sit up. Oh, turn around again. All right, we're going to come into a gentle twist. We're going to take our left hand, put it on our right knee, right hand behind us. Inhale, sitting up straight, sitting up tall. And as you exhale, twisting through your navel to the right. Exhale and come to center. Same thing on the other side, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Inhaling, sitting up straight. And as we exhale, we're going to twist through our navel to our left. One more breath. Exhale and come to center. Now we're going to move into this gate pose. So we're going to come to our knees. If you have sensitive knees, you might want to roll your mat up under your knees. Like this. Inhaling. We're going to take our right foot, put it out towards the right of us. And you can either have your right hand on your top thigh, you can just wrap it around your back of your waist. We're going to inhale our left palm up, facing the right side. And as we exhale, we're going to reach to our right. And you can either be looking straight ahead or up towards the ceiling. Bringing that energy up along the left-hand side of your body. Maybe reaching a little bit further to your right, maintaining the distribution of weight between your foot and your knee. On an exhale, we'll drop our left hand down, bringing our right foot in, setting up on the other side. So left foot comes out to the side. Once again, left hand can be on your leg for support. It can be wrapped behind your waist. Inhaling your right hand up, palm facing your left. And as you exhale, reaching towards your left. Once again, your gaze or your drishti up towards the ceiling. Breathing that energy up along your right hand side. And as you exhale, bringing your right hand down, your left foot comes in to meet your right. All right, so we're gonna get our mats back in place here. We're gonna meet in tabletop position. So tabletop, like always, what you're gonna want is your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We're gonna do some cat cows here. So as you inhale, raising your forehead and your tailbone towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, reversing the curve of your back so that your forehead and your tailbone are now facing your mat. And we're going to continue to do this, following our breath. So as you inhale into cow, exhale into cat, just be mindful of the curve of your back. Feel the movement through your shoulders, all the way through to your tailbone. One more round here, going into cow. Exhaling to cat, engaging that navel. And then we'll meet in center, back to neutral tabletop. One thing also to be aware of while you're in tabletop, it's not quite so neutral. your elbows or your elbow pits are facing the front of your mat, are turned that way. And you're definitely going to be engaging your core here. And as you're looking forward, on your next inhale, we're going to raise our right arm or right hand up, coming into a bird dog. Left foot goes out, first touching the floor for a breath. And on your next inhale, raising that left foot up. Drishti or gaze straight ahead. Core engaged. And as you exhale, bringing your hand and your foot down back to the mat. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. As we inhale, we're going to lift our left hand up. Right foot goes out behind us for a breath. And as you inhale, raising your right foot up. Keeping that drishti straight ahead. Definitely helps with balance here. And as you exhale, bringing your knee and your hand back down. We're going to flip our toes now. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to raise our bum to the sky, coming into our first downward dog. Spreading those fingers out, you can take a quick check at your hands. Pushing into that fleshy part of your underneath your thumb. Maybe giving your knees a little bit of a jog here. Could even try swaying side to side, moving your hips back, left to right. And finding your downward dog. Some people prefer to bend their knees. Please do what is suiting you tonight. Your gaze or your drishti is up at your thighs. And as you exhale, we're going to bend our knees. Inhale, big step forward to the top of your mat, bringing both feet to the top of your mat. Exhaling into a forward fold. So your knees are bent so that your tummy's resting on your knees. Inhaling up halfway, bringing your hands up to your knees or to your thighs. Exhaling back down, forward fold. Inhaling up all the way, bring your hands towards the ceiling into salute. Exhaling, hands down to our side, into Tadasana or mountain pose. We're going to take a moment here to feel that strength of Tadasana. Feel free to open up your feet a little bit if they were right together. So bringing our shoulders back, opening up our collarbones, breathing that energy out, in, up through our padabana of our feet. Bring it all the way up through our legs, through our body, up through our neck, up at the top of our heads. Nice strong legs here. And as we inhale, we're going to raise our arms to the ceiling, coming into sun salutation A. Exhaling our hands down, forward fold. Bending our knees. Inhaling up halfway. Gaze ahead in Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling down, forward fold. And we're going to take our right foot, step it back. Coming into a low lunge, so your left knee is right on top of your left ankle there. And your back of your arm, your back toes, your back toes are facing the front of your mat. Holding for a breath here. We're going to put our hands down on the mat, step all the way back. Coming into plank. Feel free to drop your knees here if you like. Gazing straight ahead for a breath. Exhaling all the way down, keeping your elbows tucked toward your body. Face into the mat. And as you inhale, we're going to come into baby cobra, lifting your chest off the mat, raising your shoulders up, letting those shoulders drop down your back, exhaling back down to the mat, inhaling up, finding our tabletop, and then as we exhale, flipping our toes, raising our tailbone to the ceiling into downward dog. Take a quick peek at your heels and make sure you can't see them. They should be happily hiding behind your feet. Gazing towards your belly button or your upper thighs. Pushing through your hands, lifting that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, bending our knees. Inhaling, big step forward to the top of the mat. Exhaling down, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhaling back down to forward fold. And then inhaling all the way up. Hands towards the sky into salute. Maybe giving yourself just a little bit of a back bend here. Exhaling down. Through some steep. To do a sun salutation B now. We're going to inhale our hands and salute. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to prayer. And as we do that, we're going to bend our knees. We're coming into chair. So the thing with chair is you want to make sure you can see your toes peeking over your knees. From there, we're going to be engaging our core, looking straight ahead. Holding chair for a couple of breaths here. Maybe trying to sink down a little bit lower. And as we exhale, we're going to take our hands down towards the mat, keeping our knees a little bit bent into forward fold. Coming up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, hands back down. Stepping our right foot back into a low lunge. And then taking our left foot back to meet it. Coming into plank, gaze ahead. And as we exhale, we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Inhaling through baby cobra, raising our chest off the ground. Shoulders back, exhaling back down. Inhaling up through tabletop. And as we exhale, we're going to raise our bums to the ceiling into downward dog. Gaze at the navel. Maybe trying to lower those heels a little bit lower. If you feel some bunching at the shoulders, just letting them move down towards your waist. And as we exhale, bending our knees. Inhale, bringing our feet to the top of the mat. Exhaling down, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhaling back down, hands to the mat. We're going to take our right foot and step it back. So it's turned at about 45 degrees. Our left knee is over top of our heel. We're going to inhale our arms up to our waist. Check that our pelvis is pointing to the right hand side of the mat. And on the inhale, we're going to raise our hands all the way to the ceiling. If that feels okay for you. Coming into warrior one. Engaging our abdomen. Nice strong legs here. Engaging our thighs, inner thighs, turning them outwards. One more breath. And on the exhale, we're going to take our hands, put them on either side of our foot. We're going to take our right foot and step it forward. Exhaling down, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Here you can also have your hands on the tops of your, like the fronts of your shins. your knees, or once again, your thighs into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling down into Uttanasana, our forward fold. And we're going to take our left foot and step it back. Same thing on, we're going to do warrior one. So your foot is turned 45 degrees, your right knee is over top of your right ankle. We're going to inhale our hands to our hips. Woo. Checking now that our pelvis is facing the top left-hand corner of our mat. And on an inhale, we're going to raise our arms to the ceiling. Finding our stability and our strength in warrior one. Maintaining that yoga breath. And as we exhale, we're going to take our hands, put them on the other side of our foot. We're going to step our right foot back to meet our left. Once again, as you're in plank, feel free to drop your knees if you like. Holding for our breath, and as we exhale, lowering all the way down for our tummies. Inhaling into baby cobra, lifting our head and our chest off the ground. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up. Finding our alignment in tabletop, and as we exhale, we're going to flip our toes, raise our thumbs to the sky. Coming into downward dog. Spreading our fingers here. Pushing through the palms of our hands. Maybe turning those elbow pits out towards the front of the mat. One more breath. And as we exhale, we're going to bend our knees. Inhaling, stepping forward to the top of the mat. Exhaling down, forward fold. We're going to bend our knees here, more so that we're coming into chair. And as we inhale, we're going to bring our hands into prayer. Once again, just making sure our knees, our toes are peeking over our knees. Gazing forward, dropping those shoulders on your back. One more breath. And as we inhale, we're going to straighten up our legs, bring our hands into salute, up towards the ceiling. Maybe tilting just a little bit backwards to give a little back bend. Exhaling down, arms down to our sides to Tadasana. Good job, everybody. On the inhale, we're going to step our right foot back, big stride. Your back foot is going to be turned out quite a lot so that your pelvis is facing the long corner of your mat. Inhale, our arms up into a T position. As we exhale, we're going to bend our left knee towards the front of the mat. So your knee is stacked over your left ankle. You can take a peek back at your back arm there. Make sure it's parallel with the front. Or I guess in line. Drishti is over top of your left fingers. Your weight is balanced evenly between your 2 feet. Engaging those thighs. Finding strength in warrior 2. And as you exhale, you can take your right hand, just put it along the back of your leg, flipping your left palm towards the ceiling. And as you inhale, bringing your left palm up, lifting up into reverse warrior. If that's feeling okay for you, you can also take your back hand and just wrap it behind your waist there. Creates a little more challenge in balance. I know you can't see this, but my left palm's facing behind me. Looks like my camera just cuts it off right there. One more breath. And as we exhale, we're going to take our left elbow, place it on our left knee, take our right hand, swoop it down and up. Inhaling, coming into extended side angle, putting our core towards the front or the long side of our mat. And if it feels okay, looking up towards the ceiling. Keeping those fingers active, reaching towards the front of your mat, bringing that energy all the way up along the right side of your body. And as you exhale, swooping your arm down, inhaling, coming up, hands to hips. We're going to pivot our feet now so that your feet are parallel to the front and the back of your mat. We're going to inhale our arms up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to just let our hands fall down towards the mat, giving our knees a little micro bend here, coming into a wide-legged forward bend. Inhaling, looking up. And as we exhale, we're going to walk our hands now between our legs. Our elbows are facing the back behind us. Remembering to give those knees a micro bend, engaging the muscles in your legs. One more breath here. On the inhale, we're going to come up halfway, hands to hips. Exhaling here. Inhaling up all the way. And then we're going to pivot our feet to face the back of the room, or the right side of our mat. So your back foot is going to be turned about 90 degrees. Your right toes are facing the top of your mat. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to open up our arms into a T, and as we exhale, we're going to bend our right knee. Now I have quite a long stance, just naturally, so I'm going to just open up my stance a little bit wider, coming into warrior two on the other side. Always checking that that knee, your right knee is stacked onto your right foot. Dropping those shoulders down your back, gazing over your right finger, engaging your navel, engaging your thighs, finding strength in warrior two, other side. And on an exhale, we're going to drop our left hand behind us, down our thigh. We're going to flip our palm to face the ceiling. We're going to inhale, raising our right hand now up, coming into reverse warrior. And once again, if it feels okay, you can take your back hand, just wrap it around the back of your waist. Or if you prefer, you can leave it on your thigh. Breathing up, gaze towards your hand or the ceiling. One more breath. And on the exhale, we're going to take our right elbow, drop it onto our right knee, take our left hand, swoop it up and over, facing the back of the room or the right hand side, coming into extended side angle pose. Once again, actively reaching towards that right hand side, turning your core up and turning your face up towards the ceiling. Breathing that energy up along left hand side. And as we exhale, we're going to drop our hand down. Inhale, coming up to face the middle. We're going to turn our feet once again so that they're parallel with the front and the back of the mat. We're going to inhale, clasping our hands behind our back, opening up our chest to the ceiling. And this time, as we exhale, we're going to fold at the waist, bending our knees just a little bit, and just letting our hands fall down towards the floor as they're clasped behind your back. And on the inhale, we're going to bring our hands to our waist, coming up halfway. Exhaling here and inhaling up all the way. And as we exhale, we're just going to scooch to the back of our mat here. Okay, so you guys are going to be somewhere around the back of your mat. I'm just going to move to a little closer to center so you can see me a little better. We're going to move into our eagle pose. So we're going to put our weight on our right foot. We're going to bend our knee on our left. And here you can cross your left knee over your right, keeping your toes on the ground. You can also cross like this, like a cross-legged, sitting down into somewhat of a chair position. Or if that feels okay, woo, you can try wrapping your foot behind your leg. I'm going to turn sideways so you guys have a better idea of what I'm talking about here. So I'm switching my weight to my right foot. I'm either touching the floor, and I'm going to look straight ahead here because it helps with my balance, or I'm going to cross my legs, or I'm going to just wrap my foot behind my left calf. And now that I've got my balance, I'm going to take my right elbow, put it underneath my left, wrap my arms around each other, coming into eagle pose. I got that special spot I'm looking at, my drishti, helping me with my balance. Moving my elbows away from my shoulders here, lifting them up. One more breath here. And as we exhale, we're just going to release the pose. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to transfer our weight now to our left-hand side. I'm just thinking I'm going to turn this way so you guys can see me now what it looks like this way once again. So we're going to transfer our weight to our left-hand side. We're going to take our right knee, cross it over our left, come down into a chair. You can keep your toe on the mat. Wherever you're at is perfectly fine. You're going to take your left elbow, put it underneath your right, wrapping your arms around each other, finding that sweet spot to gaze out on the wall, using your drishti, your yoga breath, nice strong core to keep you balanced. One more breath here. And on an exhale, we're going to release. Good job, guys. All right, so we're all going to come together at the bottom of our mat, facing the front. We're going to inhale our arms up, big salute. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our hands down into a forward fold. And then we're going to caterpillar ourselves all the way to plank. Once again, feel free to drop your knees here. Looking straight ahead, inhaling, exhaling, bringing our elbows to our body, dropping our body down to our mat. This time as we inhale, we're going to push a little bit into our hands, bringing ourselves up a little bit higher into a full-on cobra. Letting those shoulders drop down your back, pushing some weight into the tops of your feet. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up through the tabletop. Exhaling into child's pose. So falling back towards your thighs here. Maybe opening up your thighs a little bit to let your tummy nestle in the middle. If you like, you can push your fingertips into the mat. Give your shoulders an extra stretch. On the inhale, we're going to make our way to sitting. I'll sit facing you guys. We're going to put our feet out in front of us, coming into a staff pose. So toes are activated, pointing towards our forehead. Core is activated, we're sitting up straight. Hands are at your side, but there's no weight in them. Taking a few breaths here. One more breath. And we're going to come into butterfly pose. So on an inhale, you're going to bring your feet in together, knees out to either side. You know, open up your feet kind of like a book here, sitting up tall. Once again, letting those shoulders drop down your back, engaging your core. Inhaling, opening up towards the sky. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forward, bringing your feet together. Letting your back gently curve. Letting your knees fall towards either side of your mat. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, we're going to come up to sitting. As we exhale, we're going to put our feet back out in front of us. On the inhale, we're going to take our left foot, put it on the outside of our right knee. Left hand comes behind us for support. So you can either grab your knee here, or you can inhale your right hand up. And as you exhale, you can put your right elbow on the outside of your left knee and use that momentum to twist through your navel towards the left-hand side. Trying not to fall back on your left hand. Still sitting up straight. One more breath. And on the inhale, we're going to come to center. Exhaling, both feet back out in front of us. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Take our right foot now, put it on the outside of our left knee. Right hand comes behind us. And you can keep your hand here. You can inhale your left hand up. And as you exhale, just putting your elbow on the outside of your right knee and twisting towards your right. With every exhale, maybe twisting just a little bit more if that feels okay. Every time you inhale, sitting up a little straighter. And as we inhale, come to center. Exhaling, putting our feet out in front of us. All right. So as discussed, if you'd like to do feet up the wall with us, now would be the time to get yourself prepared. So I'm just going to take this moment to push my rug all the way to the wall. And I'm going to take my mat. If you would like, it's recommended to fold your mat a little bit up towards the wall. I happen to have two mats here. You know, not everybody does, but it does give your lower back some support. So once you have that going, the safest way to come into legs up the wall is to sit sideways against the wall, knees up towards the wall. So my right shoulder is pretty much touching the wall here. And then what we're going to do is take our legs and walk them up the wall, scooching our bum in towards touching the wall. If your bum does not touch the wall, not a huge deal. We want you to be comfortable, so don't force anything. Legs up the wall, the number one thing about legs up the wall is you don't want to force anything. Grab my timer, make sure we're good. So now's a good time to just release your breath. Let it just come naturally. Some people like to just sigh it all out, so I invite you to join me in one more sigh. So we're going to inhale in our nose. Then we're going to exhale out our mouths. One more time. So your feet can be just like mine are, your hands out on either side of you, palms facing up. That feels okay. Some people like to take their left hand and put it on above their heart and the right hand on their tummy. You need to do what's going to work for you here today. Another way to put your feet, especially if you have a sensitive lower back, is you could bend your knees, leave them against the wall. And then the other option would be to come into a butterfly like we just did, putting your feet together, the soles of your feet together, and letting them drop down the wall. Your knees bending from either side. So I'll be timing us tonight. I'll let you know when we're done. Some people may choose to just take a straight up Shavasana, and that is perfectly fine. So just gently letting your tongue fall away from the backs of your teeth, allowing for your forehead to relax, your cheeks to relax, and your jaw to relax, letting your tummy relax. Maybe just taking note of each part of your body, naming it in your head that's touching the floor. Acknowledge those touch points between your body and the floor. I want to invite you to just take a moment to notice your breath, bringing your awareness to the rise and fall of your tummy. Breathe. And wiggling your fingers and your toes. Just slowly starting to wake your body up. And maybe stretching your arms over your head if that feels good. And when you're ready, just making your way into sitting from wherever you ended up at the end of that Shavasana. So if you had your legs up the wall, you're going to do the opposite of what you did to get into it. So you'll walk your legs down the wall. Maybe stop for a moment, resting your head on your arm, resting on your side. And then slowly using your arms, just bringing yourself back up to sitting. So thank you all. It's been a pleasure holding space with you. I hope you had an enjoyable yoga practice. Maybe you're still in like something well right now. I invite you to go back if you like. Anyway, I appreciate you. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or evening, depending on what time zone you're in. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.